I'm Sanatu Zambang. My name is Mariam Pana. Today in the studios with me are
Sandra.
Zainab.
Alright. Today we'll be discussing relationship pressures and also delve into what kind of woman you are. Alright, I believe that at some point in time we all have been in a relationship in our lives, okay? And we know some pressures it comes with. So I would just like to know what are some pressures that comes with relationships as a woman?
Precious. It's quite interesting. Okay, for me in person, I haven't really experienced pressures with any of
Yeah, your
the people,
relationship.
yeah, any of my relationship. But the little pressures I've received is with regards to calls.
Okay.
For instance, he calls you, you're not able to pick, then you don't return immediately. And when you do, he goes like, where were you? Why didn't you pick my call? Why are you calling me now? Those kind of things. So with me, it has always got to do with calls and nothing else really.
Okay. Fair enough.
Precious. Okay, I would say like okay, calls is one thing, and the other thing like you don't have time. You don't make time. Like there's no time. You don't make time for us to meet. Like those kind of things, and especially like when you're a student, for instance, like do this. You don't call me. You don't do this. You're always like this. Always giving excuses
Yeah.
to this, planning for this and those things like those unnecessary pressures.
Okay. Alright, okay. So let's talk of a particular pressure, okay? Like when it comes to should I say you doing exactly what your partner says you should do? Because I know of stories or I've seen cases where there are some girlfriends that particularly act like they're married to their boyfriends. He says this and it's supposed to be like that. He says that and you're supposed to follow through with it. What do you think?
It's something I don't buy into. Like I said, a relationship should be like a partnership where so you tell me not to do this and you are doing that is something I want. If it's bad, then both of us let's not do it.
Alright.
Okay, once it's a good thing and we should all do it, then let's all do it. But you tell me not to go out with my friends, probably in the evening or at night, and yet you do that as a guy. I think I'll have a problem with you there, because a relationship doesn't mean. Before I met you, I had a life. You equally had a life,
Yes.
a life, and we should continue to live that life, probably with limitations,
So,
but
yeah.
not restrictions.
Okay,
So
alright.
that's just-
So from what Sandra is saying, okay, it brings me to that point where I have so much of a big problem with. Like she mentioned that basically about restrictions from your boyfriend, because such controlling boyfriends mostly have restrictions that are one-sided. That is, it's only on you, not on him. Like she was giving examples of saying don't do this, but he can do it. So what do you have to say about that?
When it comes to restriction, I always say relationship is about communication and then understanding each other.
Yes.
And then being in a relationship is like trying to study each other, getting to know each other's weak points, what you like, what I don't like, and all those things.
Sure.
So it's a matter of communicating with each other. And if you're in a relationship and you believe like things are not going the way you expect it to be, then you can quit and then go your way.
Okay.
So it's just all about understanding each other and then getting to know what the other person likes and hates, what the other person likes, and coming into agreement to it.
Okay. Okay. So let's come to a major pressure in relationships. Sex. It is a major pressure in relationship where you have at some point maybe you don't want, as a female, you don't want to have sex with your partner, but maybe he wants it, or vice versa. How do you handle such pressures when it comes?
Okay, so with regards to sex should be consensual. Okay, I should want to do it, you should want to do it, not the other way around, like you wanting to, then the other person not wanting. Everything should be about consent. So once I say I don't want to, as a guy who respects me, I think then you should just let it be, let it go. But once you make it look as if sex, and you shouldn't even have sex in a relationship in the first place. Okay, and it's happening. Then right now you want to make it look like a fault, a must. That's
some sort of entitlement.
exactly.
Yes.
Then it becomes a very serious offense to me.
Yeah.
Because once she says no, and you go ahead and you have sex with her, that's where we say it's rape. Because it's without my consent or it's without your consent.
Okay, so let's take away the part that it's going to be rape, okay? But oftentimes you have a case where it's not actually rape, but he's putting so much pressure on you to the point that you just say that,
Give
okay,
in.
fine, let me just give in, yes, out of things like that, but not necessarily rape. What do you think, like, with that whole issue?
Sex is a mutual. It should be something that is a mutual understanding between the two of you.
Yes.
And even if one is not in agreement,
Yes.
you wouldn't enjoy it or even feel any
Definitely.
sort of fun with it. So if that is the case, if you're giving me pressure and I'm not interested, I don't want to, then I'll just have to quit the relationship because it's not false.
Okay.
After all, we're there to know each other, get to know each other and see if things will work out or lead us into something in the future.
Yeah.
But if I'm telling you that I don't want this and you don't want to understand or come in agreement with me, I don't like this, I've given you my reasons, but still you're still insisting, I have no choice than to give you that space to probably you might find somebody who is interested in that, but probably I'm not interested in it.
All right.
So
So let's be a bit realistic, okay? Yes, you might know what you want and you might go for what you want, and but we know this thing called love. At some point you're acting all, I won't do this because that's some kind of principle and all of that. But you know how that thing flows, like it just carries you away sometimes.
yeah,
So sometimes you end up giving in, not because you necessarily
need
want
it,
or
yeah,
yes or
but
need it, yes,
because
but because you
for-
just
for
feel
the
like
love
exactly,
you have
and you
for
feel
that
you can't
person.
just let go.
Yeah, well,
But I-
okay, but that one you should understand that it's not a mutual thing. It's not something that is making that will let you believe that because I'm not giving you sex, I don't love you. No, that shouldn't be the case. It's just something we've agreed to do,
Okay.
just between us. But like aside from that, it shouldn't be a basis like if you don't give me sex, then that means you don't love me,
Yeah.
or we have trust issues. Like trying to get some reasons to that. No.
So I just to add up to
Yeah.
that, I think that yes, those things happen. Yes, she doesn't want to, but then end up giving in because of that word love.
Yeah.
Yes, it does happen. But I think that any guy who respects you will actually respect your no. Because if I say no, there might be so many reasons why I'm saying no.
So that means you're gonna give those reasons.
No, yes, definitely. If I tell you no, I
Yes,
should
you have
have
to give
reasons.
reasons.
So for some ladies, probably she's in her menses.
Mhm.
For all you know, she has though some will not even bother to ask you why you are even saying no to it.
Yeah.
For all you know, she's having menstrual cramps. For all you know, she's in some sort of crisis, and that sex thing is not even on her mind, and you are coming with it. So that's what I was saying. For any guy who respects you, once you say no to sex, I think he'll respect
You will
that.
understand.
Okay. So should we as women make it a point that when we are starting our relationships or getting into our relationship, we should have that
Discuss some
sex
of
talk
this.
with
Exactly.
our partners?
Exactly.
Yes, you should
Once in a
talk.
while, it will even pop up by itself.
So, yeah.
Not just you having the talk, but it will pop up automatically.
Yes.
It will just pop up.
So some people have the mentality that once he or she is in a relationship with you, you have to have sex. Like
Yes.
sex is something that should
He's
happen.
entitled
There's
to
a
it.
He's
saying.
entitled
There's a
to
saying that you can't put a bone and a dog in a room and
Yes.
expect the dog not to touch the
touch
bone.
the bone, yes.
Exactly. So definitely you go to him, you visit him, and once in a while, that zeal of trying to
Yes.
You know,
What's
there
up
are
here?
those things
there are some
would
there are
come
some
up.
relationship where
And all those
I
things is a
think-
matter of controlling yourself. And
In
like
as
we
much as-
ladies, like we can control ourselves, but guys, it's very difficult
It's
for them
difficult,
to.
yes.
Yeah.
that's
So
where the
it's-
discipline
it's-
comes
yes.
in.
No,
Okay,
but
so-
at some point,
So
so
it's-
let's not be so biased about this, okay? Like she said, there'll be that time where you visit him and all of that. If you've had such an agreement with a guy, and like you said, it's not easy for guys to control themselves when it comes to things like that. I don't know why, as a woman, I'm not trying to say that it is not okay for you to visit your boyfriend, okay? But as a woman who has decided that you do not want to have such relations with your boyfriend, I think that the amount of time you spend with him, especially in such an enclosed setting, should be limited.
Should
Because
be
you can't
limited,
be trying
it's
somebody like that.
It's
You
true.
get it?
It's true.
In as much as he has the discipline and you know, respecting you and all of that, but if you keep giving that room,
Yes.
of course, you know
I
that
know of
at some
couples
point.
who go strictly foreplay, like they don't do
No,
this.
yes,
yes.
But
exactly.
they cuddle,
Yes,
they,
yes,
they
yes.
foreplay, and
Mhm.
that is just it. That is
Yes.
where it ends,
And
and they both
you know,
understand each other.
Some guys believe
Some
like
really dangerous
you know,
things.
some guys even believe like this is my girlfriend.
Yes.
So anything I want to do with
Seriously,
you, like
that's
So entitled,
those
yes.
things, you understand, like
Yeah.
this cuddling, romancing, and all those things. And then sometimes it leads into sex.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes
something very
sex
dangerous.
just happens. Like you don't even
You
know
don't
how it
plan,
started.
you don't know how it started.
You didn't even you didn't plan for it, but it just
But now
happened.
in your head, when you're even coming,
Yeah,
you're
like,
kicking
uh-huh,
against it. I'm not
kicking
doing
against
this.
it and
I'm
all
not
those
doing
things.
this.
And
I
sometimes it
think
just
that
happens.
once you are in a, like you said right from the beginning, you have to talk about some of this.
Yeah.
So if you agree that yes,
At some point,
at
in your
some point
relationship,
you
that would be
have
fine.
sex,
You would have
then
sex.
whenever you're going to visit him alone, it should be part of your plan.
Exactly.
You should know that
Exactly.
it can happen.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to put in measures to probably prevent
Yeah.
unwanted pregnancies and all that. But once you say that no, there's not going to be a sex in this particular relationship, you have to also put
Yes,
in measures
exactly.
so that it doesn't
Yes,
happen.
exactly.
Like
That's-
she
and-
said
and
You
earlier
don't
on.
finish and blame him
And
for
make
everything.
Exactly. Once
him
you are
understand.
alone, you know the devil finds work for the idle
Idle
mind.
hands,
So
yeah.
once you are alone in that enclosed environment, that enclosed space, like she mentioned, the probability of sex happening is very high.
And then I believe like I just want to add something. I believe like the kind of generation we are living in, or should I say the society we are now living in, not society but the generation, guys, when their girls don't give in to sex, they go out for other
Yes.
sources. And then most ladies, because they don't want their guys, they don't want to leave their guys, or they don't want their guys to go in for
For
other
other ladies, yeah.
options, they tend to
Given.
give in. And like it's not even part of her plans, like she didn't want to, but just because of that you just give in. Sometimes you just have to understand. As I understand, oh, if you don't understand,
You know,
then
sometimes it's also
let's
pressure from friends. So you're with this girl who says that okay, please let's try our best to stay away from sex. Then his friends go like seriously, you think this pretty girl
yeah.
is just with you
Somebody's
and not
like-
And let me
somebody
check,
is
let me
somewhere
check
having
something.
Somebody's
here.
even like,
You know
sex
the
is
most
interesting.
annoying part? Once they realize that, especially for the friends of the guys, once they realize that it's not like she is a virgin, she has done it before, but it's just a decision of not doing it.
Doing it
And they tell you
again.
that it's absurd. Why would you
it's
agree
not
with
possible.
something
Yes,
like that?
she
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
You see, so the guy also sit down and thinks about all these things and
Yeah.
kind of reason with them. Yes, it might be true. This pretty girl, she's not a virgin.
But
How come
yeah, so
she's
how come
saying that we
she's saying
shouldn't
no to
have
something
sex
like this?
and
Yeah.
all that, and that also brings her to the issue of talking about your past.
Yes.
With it's cool to open about what
Yes,
happened
yes,
in the
yes.
past, but then I feel that as a female, you should learn to keep some details.
Some
Once you know
details,
that it won't affect the
The
relationship.
relationship.
There are
sure.
some details that is actually very important to the
Important,
relationship.
yes.
But if it's not important, I feel that you shouldn't tell the guy.
Yes.
Because once you tell him, sometimes what in that like sometimes it's not deliberate, but then
Yes,
he uses it
against you.
against
Yes,
so
he
you,
does.
you say, okay, you're not a virgin.
Mhm.
Probably he doesn't know. There's one thing telling a guy you are a virgin, and
Mm.
actually not telling him, and he wondering. Okay,
Yeah.
if he asks you, it's different. But if he doesn't ask you,
There's no need
like
to
there's
just,
no
you know,
need
be
to
a
just
blabber
say
mouth about it. Yeah.
exactly. So you say because I'm not a virgin and I'm telling you I'm just suggesting that we stay away from sex in this particular relationship, and you go like, no, this is not possible. This girl is getting it from somewhere. That's where the problem comes. For all you know, those guys are putting those thoughts in your head so that you guys will break up and they will come in. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you trust your partner, if you don't trust a person, then don't just date her or him. But once there's that trust, I think you should always trust each other at all
Yeah,
levels.
like Sandra
Yeah.
said, most guys believe that when a girl is not giving in into sex, like
Yes.
they're getting it from
Somewhere,
else, yeah. Or it's because you don't love him.
them. Yeah.
But that's not the case. Like guys out there should they should now believe, like they should try and
And even
understand that
another
it's
thing
not
is
just
the
that.
fact that I have broken my virginity, and then maybe I've had sex with someone else or in my past relationship, and now I am saying I do not want it. Maybe there are some reasons. Maybe I'm quite informed about certain things now, and I feel that this is not something I want to do anymore. I want to, maybe take my time because of whatever happened in the past or something. Just learn to accept those things.
My issue is that, okay, you want to have sex with her. Probably if you've been dated for a while, for a year, and you've still not had sex. If you really love her, like you claim, what's wrong with you just going and paying her bride price and marrying her? Like, I don't always understand them.
Alright, so we have boyfriends or partners that tend to be very controlling, like act like fatherly figures in our lives, where they are basically overly possessive. Yeah, checking your ins, your outs, where you go, who you spend time with, and all of those things. And I think it's so much of a problem in our lives because I don't see why a relationship should look at some form of slavery, let me put it that way. And I want to know, what are some of the reasons why these men or these guys get the opportunity to act in such a way?
I think that for any guy who behaves in that manner is simply insecure.
Okay.
He feels like, oh, this my girlfriend is pretty, and he doesn't want to believe that he's the only one who is kind of interested in him. But what he forgets to know is that if she didn't love you in the first place, she will not even date you. Okay, so they tend to be so controlling, like they want to know everything you do, like they want your life to basically revolve around them. And it becomes really, really stressful for females who find themselves in those
even I think they're forgetting of the fact that if she's as pretty as you say, and you think that there are lots of guys that want her, of course your behavior is only going to be something that pushes her to those kind of people. Because if the attention I was getting seems to be like something that is not nice anymore, like maybe I see your call coming through, I don't even get that excitement anymore. I'd rather go with somebody that's giving me all the sweetness and all of that.
Sometimes we have to also understand that sometimes we ladies, we are dependent on these guys.
Yes.
So when everything is revolving around him, he gives you money, he clothes you, feeds you, almost does everything for you. When he's not your
buys
father,
your phone, so
he's not even engaged to you, nothing. You're just boyfriend and girlfriend, and he's already doing all that. He feels like he has that right to stop you from going somewhere, do this, like controlling your life and all those things. Yeah, I think it's all parts.
Okay, all right. So let's take this as a yardstick to jump in. What kind of a woman you are, because if you're the kind of woman, like you said, that's so only dependent on a boyfriend, that's the reason they act in that manner. But to you, what do you think a woman should be like when it comes to such relationships and maybe marriage?
Well, should I say the kind of we found ourselves in a society where it's like we are raised to be dependent on men, for survival or something like that. Yeah, but I believe like we women, we can be independent if we wish to. It's just a matter of you making your mind up, and if you know you don't want any nonsense or any controlling life from a man, then you have to make up your mind to be dependent. Work towards that. I think that's just what I can say.
Okay, so I also think that with the issue of dependency, sometimes it's not from the females. Sometimes I'll partly blame the parents as well. So this is your girl child who menstruates every month and probably need like 2 or 3 pads every month, and she's not working, and you don't give her money to buy those things. Okay, she's in a school where everybody is moving with the crowd. Let me put it like new things come, new clothes, you know what I'm talking about, those things, trending stuff. Okay, I'm not saying you should provide your girl child with all those things, but make her comfortable. Okay, especially when she comes from a background where they are not so poor. Okay, you can provide, you can give her. There's some females may even go to school without money for food, like you just allow her to go to school like that's like when you know that when she goes to school, she has to eat, she has to take lunch at school, probably, or maybe she didn't even take breakfast at home, and when she goes to school, she has to take breakfast, or she's going to secondary school, and all you do is just pay her fees and leave her to take care of herself. Definitely, if a guy should come in and provide her with all those things her other colleagues have, the shito, the biscuits, the drinks, and all those things you could have provided, but you didn't. Definitely, you follow such a guy, and they tend to control them, like my sister mentioned earlier. So I think that the parents should also do their part. I'm not saying they should give the girl child everything, but at least provide those basic needs for her.
Like Sandra said, it's true. Let me just chip into what Sandra said. It's true. Like our parents, sometimes they have to understand that we are girls and then we have needs. So certain things are there. They have to provide. They shouldn't just wait for us to even ask for it. They should do it because they don't want us to involve ourselves into bad company or end up bringing pregnancy to their homes and all those things, because even if they hear that, it's kind of like a disgrace to them. So those petty needs and basic needs, they should try and provide it. And also they shouldn't make the girl believe that like I don't have this, or like I can't be like my friends, or I can't have this. No, like they should always try their best to provide for the child what the child demands. And also like they should I wanted to say something, but
let me just chip in with this last before I forget. So I have a friend whose mom is a midwife and her dad is an accountant. She just graduated from the university and she's not working. And I'm like, hey, you are chilling. When we are hustling, trying to get money here and then, you just sit in the house, eat, sleep, and they even give you chop money. And then she was like, Sandra, for the way, which chop money? Like, they don't give her anything. They feel like they've spent so much on her education at school and she should be out there looking for jobs. And she's actually looking for jobs and she's not getting. She ever suggested to them to just give her some capital so that she starts a business. They said no, she should go out there and look for a job. At the end of the day, every month, you can't wear the same clothes throughout the whole year. Sometimes you have to change clothes. Where will she get money to do some of these things? Sometimes you're not saying that yes, some of them actually try their best. They try to look for jobs, but they don't just get it. Okay, they want capital to start something. The money is not there. So you meet this guy who wants to do all that for you, and in the end ends up controlling you. Will you blame the girl? I'm not saying they can't be blamed. They are blamed partly, but then not fully. Not fully,
yes, it's
not
true.
fully.
Okay. So would you agree with me that at some point I think that the girl child is to be blamed fully? When I say she should be blamed fully, I'm talking about the fact that let's look around. There are a lot of people that came from very poor backgrounds, didn't get support from such men or men to get to wherever they are, but they still got there. And then there are some people too that actually come from better homes. They are provided with all these things, yet they are so dependent on men. I'm trying this building up the fact that I think it's about a woman's mindset, because let's say even if it is now we're all hearing about feminists and feminisms and all of that, but I would say that I had my principles even before I learnt about feminist beliefs. All of those things. I had my own principles before learning about things like that, and maybe at some point I realized that okay, some of my beliefs align with some of the things they talk about. As a woman, you just need to have certain principles that no matter what happens, there are certain extents you wouldn't go to, because like you said, if you come from a poor home, like I'm seated here, I'm not going to say that my parents provide every one of my needs. No, that's going to be a lie.
But they provide some. So my problem is some parents who don't do any of this. We all need some sort of a push to get whatever we are going
they're doing that.
So
and even at some point, I think that parents should not necessarily be provided. If they don't have it, they do not have it.
Some do
but
have.
they should cultivate certain things in the children they bring up. Okay.
So it's just like,
because we have situations where you hear women actually pushing their own children, not asking for you. Maybe the scenario you created, it was like you go for a job. Someone will even tell you that
to follow a man.
Follow a man. Your friends are doing this, doing that, and their boyfriends are doing that.
Like,
what are you doing?
Some will even go and take the things from the boyfriend and bring it to the house, and the mom will eat like
use what you have to get what you want. Like
Exactly.
that's
It's
saying.
quite
So,
Yeah,
so I
so-
have the belief that we all need some sort of a push. I'm not saying that yes, the girl shouldn't be blamed. Yes, you don't need a guy to get to where you want to be, especially if you've been brought up in a particular way to kind of believe in your principles and all that. But then, yes, there are some people who actually try a lot and don't really get the jobs. Like they actually try everything they can.
It's true.
And some even end up getting men who help them, but then they don't control them. You get it. I'll cite an example. I completed nursing school somewhere in 2016. Our results came in 2017, and I applied for a job. We were so many, like we were over 50, and at the end of the day, I was picked. Then the rest of them weren't picked, and some of them were my colleagues. So I asked myself, so what happens to those who were not picked? Okay, what do they do? Because for the past, we are in 2019 right now, and even till now, we haven't been posted. After all the monies their parents have invested in them going to school, and they're at home, we just ask ourselves, what are they doing? How did they fend for themselves? So for those who are privileged enough to have parents who actually will give you some kind of a support, like every day, like help with certain things, like you are blessed, you have 3 square meals a day. What will you worry about? You don't have anywhere to go to apart from going out to look for a job. What about those they don't give? What did they do? Yes, some people, yes, it's true, some people struggle and they actually get to where they are. But what about those who actually struggle but they don't get there? That's where the question comes in. So my problem right now is not with the guys but with the parents. What are they also doing to support such children?
So like I wanted to say something like upbringing. Sometimes they should let us understand that we are poor, or like I don't have all the money to provide everything for you. It should start from the basic and let the child understand that when you come to me and ask me, I want this, and I feel like it's not really a priority or a necessity. So I should let you understand that, sit you there and tell you that I don't have that money now, and this thing is not anything important, but if I get the money, I'll buy it for you later on. Let the child understand that. Sometimes if they make us understand
Some of
those
things,
things, we wouldn't even go in to tell a man for this. And when we understand that, next time when we come to our moms like, Mom, I need money to buy this, and my mom tells me that, today I don't have money, at least you the child will understand, because it's like I'm raised that way. So I believe in it. When I was back at school, university days, if I'm broke and then I call the house and my mom is like, I don't yet have money, or I tell my brother and my mother's like, I don't yet have money, I understand. I understand that they don't have, because I know if they have, they'll give me. And whenever they have and I demand, they'll give me. So when they don't have, I know that means they don't really have. So like I'm calm, and it's like I'm normal since I have something to manage with. And when anytime they get the money, I'll just sit there and I'll see an alert on my phone, mobile money, like the money is in here. So I believe like the upbringing, they have to understand and train us in a way that we will understand that if it is there, it's there, and if it's not there too, it's not there. So you have to understand that it's not there. And with that, you can even go in with a man. When a man is given, and then it comes to a point that he's not giving you again, you have to understand that it's not there.
Yes, and even for some ladies, it's not as if they don't get from their parents. They do get, but then they have this whole mentality that yes, a man should cater for them. So like she was saying, it depends on your upbringing. So it's okay for him to give you, but you always requesting and thinking that it's a must for him to give you. That's where it becomes an issue, because I know of females who actually take care of some men.
Yes,
that's right. Their education and everything.
One thing too, our parents should stop prompting us, as in like you've completed university and then you don't yet have a job, and you feel like you've given me job money enough, I don't have to give you job money again. They should remember that I'm not yet working. If I was working, I wouldn't come to you asking you for job money. And then you don't. So if I come to you and ask you for money, you don't have to tell me that, what are you doing, Grandpa? You are supposed to have.
Your colleagues are
I think that's that point. That's that
where
point
is
where
that
we
your
get
boyfriend?
to them pushing girls into marriage.
Exactly. So they should stop those saying, at least if you don't have, at least the one CD you have, manage with this. I
like
don't
your colleagues are
money.
working and getting
At
married.
least me, the child, I also feel like, wow, my parents are really like supporting. They are doing something, so I wouldn't even want to push myself into something that would even disgrace them later on.
Right.
Yeah, but sometimes they end up telling us that you grandpa, go and get a boyfriend. What are you sitting here doing?
Or get married.
Or
sometimes
get
when they
married.
don't want it to look that way, they just say get married.
Those things is not encouraging at all.
Okay, so let's say that a key point to note in being the kind of woman you are is, you know, upbringing. Upbringing is important and all of that. Okay, so I'm going to ask a very personal question. So I don't want it to look like, you know, to our viewers that we are just here talking about things like we've had it, like we have it all together. Okay, personal question. If any of you seated here, your boyfriend says that I'm going to take care of you, I'll do everything for you, would you agree to that? Your boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
Yes.
He will do everything.
Yes, he's going to take care of you.
Honestly, for me personally, I won't have a problem with that.
Him taking care of you.
I'm
saying that with regards to
You know,
you saying
taking care
that
of
you
me
being
in quotes.
dependent on a man.
I understand.
You know,
I
so that's why I'm asking that question.
So if a friend ever said, who doesn't like luxury?
Okay.
Everybody does loves luxury.
Luxury, yes.
But then it becomes a problem when you make it look as if it's a must for him to do it.
Okay.
He offered to do it. I
Alright.
didn't say he should do it. It's just like you sitting at your home, then your boyfriend buys you a very big gift, like brings you a car.
No, but Sandra, do not make a mistake.
I'm not making a mistake.
Effort is different from wanting to take care of you, because if you say that he offers that he's going to take care of you, okay, that is you also somehow, or he indirectly taking that freedom. I'm not saying with all guys,
So
but like
taking
let's
care
let's
of
put
me
it
in every aspect
in
of
every-
my
that's why I
life,
said
like my work,
everything,
like I
taking care of you.
I don't need to work again if I'm already working. Probably is that part.
Yes.
Okay. So for that one, I won't agree.
Okay, fine. You want to make it look like he's going to make you what, a careerless woman?
Or
No.
probably a
I'm not saying
housewife.
you
A
should work.
housewife.
No,
Okay.
this is just boyfriend girlfriend. He says that you can work, okay, but he's going to take care of you
Probably
completely.
your clothing,
Everything
gives
for
you
you.
daily chop money.
I don't want us to make a mistake of comparing efforts to this.
So today,
Every woman, like you said, would love luxury, and then you would love a man's efforts. It's not bad. As I'm talking and with all my principles, I'm not saying if my boyfriend buys me a shoe, I wouldn't take it
so
or
let's,
anything of that sort.
let's get this. Okay. so for a man to be able to say that probably
Yes.
he's actually very, very wealthy. And when I say very, very wealthy, like he's very, very wealthy, because you can just imagine how much we spend on ourselves even in a month.
What if he's not wealthy? But
So that's where the problem even comes. Like
you see, we have
would you even
narcissistic.
do
Let me tell you something. We have narcissistic men in the north. He wants to be like, I don't know how to put it, some kind of, you know, overlord on you. Okay,
Overlord.
so he wants it to be like he's taking care of you, so that you don't have anything to say. Like, he's doing all those things for you. So what exactly is your problem? I don't know whether you get what I'm trying to say.
I
Or lots of
to be
That is
very
that is
honest
why-
with you, there are guys who actually do all that, but then give you that freedom.
That's what
Like,
I'm
give
saying.
you
I
that
know
space.
there's
Yes.
guys like
Okay,
that,
yes.
but what of the others that, you know, they wouldn't give
So
you
like
that
I said, it
freedom?
depends with the package it comes with.
It
No, yeah,
depends.
and sometimes they do
So-
not necessarily tell you what the
Exactly. So I realized that
You
things
just
are not
realize
going.
it lately.
So I'm working.
Mhm.
Then you come with that offer. Then I realized that at some point it's going another direction. Come on, it was communication from the beginning. Okay, you offered to do this. Though yes, you can't do even my panties. Seriously, there's still things I definitely will not allow you to do.
Yes.
Okay, but you want to, at the end of the every month you want to give me some money. Probably you want to take care of my wardrobe, and I say okay. For wardrobe, okay, once in a while you can buy me clothes, but then don't do this. It's a concern, it's an agreement, it's a partnership. Once I know this guy can afford it and he's actually doing
So it looks more like you are interested in effort.
I'm very interested in efforts.
Okay.
Okay, there's one thing. There are some men they don't have. Okay, they don't really have. Probably let me learn. Okay, they don't have, but they make an effort to give you a little out of that
What they
small
have,
they
all
have.
they
And
have,
I
small
appreciate
they
that
have.
a lot.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so he's rich. He's very rich, and he and I know he's very rich, and he wants to give me. I don't have a problem with that. I can even give him at some point in time if he also wants help
it, yes.
from me. So like it's a two-way thing. Like
So basically, we should study guys that, like, maybe when your boyfriend tells you that I want to take care of you, you should study the
what
kind
does
of guy
he do?
he is.
Exactly.
And apart
His
from that,
character and
yes,
everything.
his character, so that you
Uh-huh.
don't end up being in that situation
Situation
where
where
he
he
has to, you know,
controls
control
you.
you
So
because
like
of all of
Sandra
that.
said,
Yeah.
it depends. It depends on the situation. Me, for instance, if you come and tell me that, oh, from now on, I'll give you chop money, I'll give you money to buy your baby, your pomade, your basic needs, like I would like to take care of you. I was actually fine. It's a good thing. At least you've said something
Said
like
something,
that.
yeah.
But I don't want you to be so controlling on
Oh,
me.
me, yeah.
Sometimes
So you
even
make
if
You
that
are
they
going
tell
to
you,
be giving me those things, and then you want to act like my father, like don't do this, don't do that,
what
don't
if
do
he
that.
doesn't tell you but ends up doing that?
No, I'll
So
alert you.
she's going to do it
I'm going.
from
I'll
the
alert
start
you.
of it.
So when you, if you don't want to understand that, then okay.
Okay, he agrees that
And
he won't do it.
after all, it's already a responsibility of the man to do certain things. for
Your
you.
boyfriend.
And like
No, we are
the
talking about
society we
boyfriends.
found, yes, the society we found ourselves these days, that it has made it look like it's now a responsibility of the man to do certain things for you when you're in a relationship.
Yes.
And if the man is not doing that, it brings about breakup.
Yes.
In most relationships,
Especially
yes.
in
I've seen some.
this
Just
modern
because
part
like
of,
my man doesn't give me money and
Yes,
those things,
he doesn't
so
do
the
this.
lady just went ahead and broke up with the man. I've seen like so many
So many,
scenarios.
yes, so many scenarios
It
like that.
happens.
So for-
So like the society we found ourselves have made us believe that when you're in a relationship with a man, the man has to provide certain things or give you certain things. That's why I said upbringing is very, very important.
Of money.
So if like you understand in your house that my mom, whenever I ask something from my parents or my brothers and they tell me that they don't have, and I understand their situation, like oh they are in this kind of situation that and then they don't really have, and I understand it and I'm okay with it. Why not when I get a man? Why won't I understand when he gives me? Fine. If he doesn't give me, fine. Because my house, I already get those things. You understand? You giving me is just an addition.
Basically, I even think as a woman, you shouldn't cultivate the habits of asking a man.
Asking a man.
It is different if he offers.
Offers.
You
If
get
he
it?
offers,
It's-
yes.
If he offers,
And
fine, but
especially
if you
in
ask-
this
No,
our part
no,
of
no,
Ghana,
no, no.
northern part of Ghana, I mean Tamale, like where we stay right now, it's more like a responsibility on the
Yes.
So there are some guys who say that hey, in Tamale if you're
If you
not
don't have
rich,
money, yes,
yeah,
Yes,
you can't get a
yes.
girlfriend.
From-
yes.
Yeah.
Tamale, yeah.
Exactly. And I know guys who have actually gone into scamming with that mentality because they want to make money
Money
and
and
get all the women
women
they
they
want,
want,
and
yeah.
they end up succeeding.
Can you believe
So
a
they'll continue
friend-
having that mentality.
Niggas are oh, Tamale, so far as you get like some Mbaya Haya or Charlotte
Baby.
with your motor and then you have a plasma with a nice room.
Yes,
That's all.
that's
You
all.
want a
That's
girl
all.
like that.
Very
Seriously?
unfortunate. Very, very
Listen.
unfortunate.
No, like
And
like
it's real, like
seriously,
it's happening.
like seriously,
Yeah.
just flat screen TV. My room is nice. This is just
They
a
feel
normal
like yes,
thing.
you are ready to marry. So
Rice,
even if
Charlotte's, how much? 10 cities.
No,
Just
but
because
sometimes
of that.
you see, it depends. It depends on the kind of woman.
you are,
You are.
exactly
Because there are certain things, if let's say from your upbringing
That is
in
what
your
I'm
house,
saying.
you have
That
things
is what
like
I'm
this. It is
saying.
nothing
If
new
I-
to you.
In my house, I always know
Maybe I even have more than that.
Bro, today I feel like taking Charlotte. I say, oh, okay, let's go and I'll buy you one. And then you buy me and I say,
Exactly.
this is not something
This is
you
not
can just
something
use
you
to
can
win
use
my
to-
heart.
Yes, exactly.
No. In my house, my brother's room, I see flat
Flat
screen,
screen, yes.
nice room,
Mhm.
and all those things. This is not something you can use to win my
Yes,
heart.
exactly.
No.
Exactly. But
And anytime I ask, oh, bro, Charlie, today I'm very, very broke, or I need some money to buy things, or my pomade is finished, I need money to buy. It's like, oh, okay, you give me next week. This week I don't have money.
Yes.
I understand. Next week I'll come back to you, and then you give me the money, and I go and buy. And then later on, you the
The
boy,
guy
you come and
wants
tell
to
me
use that
that,
same
oh,
thing to
I will
block
give you
money.
money
Yes.
to buy your
Mhm,
money. And
definitely
you,
that
you
would work.
want to use those basics,
basics.
to control me. I will
Definitely
not
not. Yes,
understand.
that would
Because I get that at
At
home. If you
home,
don't
or
give
even
me,
better.
I'll get it
Yes.
at the right source.
So
Exactly.
true.
So it's the upbringing.
Yeah,
Okay.
matters
It's the
a
upbringing.
lot.
Yes.
All right. So briefly for you both, what do you think is an ideal woman, or just a list of things, not for us to talk extensively, but what should an ideal woman be like?
An ideal woman.
Yes.
That's a very big
Not
question.
that's why I said not so extensively, like when it comes to relationships, like with what we just talked about. As an ideal woman, what are certain things you need to portray so that you stay in your position, you don't get to that point where men would have to use that as a yardstick to say certain things to you.
I think that as an ideal woman, you have to be assertive. Assertive in a sense that your yes is your yes,
Yes.
and your no is
It's
your
your
no.
no.
Yes.
You know what you want and you go for it. You believe in your principles and you try at all times to stick to it. You are independent. That is very, very important because no matter how things become difficult, because of that discipline that has been inculcated into you right from the onset, you carry it with you wherever you find yourself. Okay, so and you don't make compromises. That's what affect you
You.
in the long run.
Okay.
So basically, I think
Yeah, I think I'll just go with what Sandra said. Your dependency level should be a bit low. You shouldn't depend too much on something like people saying believe in what you can do. Go for what you want. When you know this is what you want, yes, black is black, yellow is yellow. Like just believe in yourself.
Alright, okay. Alright. Thank you very much for joining me in the studios for this discussion. And then yes, this is Sanatu Zambang. See you next time.